Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I think in the previous class we have finished discussing about the assessment evaluation, meaning, nature, importance, everything was finished, and then differentiating the measurement, assessment, evaluation, examination, and testing. That was completed, and so in this class, we will discuss about types of assessment and evaluation. Okay, so that two things we will see. What are the different types of assessment and evaluation? So, can somebody differentiate between the assessment and evaluation once again? However, we have discussed in the previous class. Tanuj, are you here? Are you getting me? Tanuj Sahu,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
can you differentiate the two terms, assessment and evaluation?
Sir, assessment means it is a process
Hmm.
which appraising student performance.
Hmm.
But assessment and evaluation. Evaluation means it is a broader term. Assessment evaluation is a broader term as compared to assessment.
Acha. Then what is the difference? You have told that assessment is appraising students. Then what is the evaluation?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, evaluation.
Santosh ji, are you getting me? Santosh, Santosh, are you getting me? I think. Good morning. Can you differentiate between the two terms, assessment and evaluation? Acha, assessment is a part of evaluation. Okay, very good. And then what is the evaluation? Okay. What is the purpose of assessment? How they can improve better? Okay. So Nanda is replying that assessment is a process oriented and evaluation is product oriented. Yes, so very much right. Actually, when we talk about the assessment, so assessment is a process of students appraisal. We used to appraise, we used to know that what kind of a difficulty the students are facing for their development, and we used to take a feedback so that the learning environment can be improved. It is beneficial for both teacher as well as the student. Whereas when we talk about the evaluation, it is for the purpose of value judgment. We used to grade the students. And when we have a objective of grading student, then we used to do a evaluation. But when the purpose is to improve the process, then we used to do a assessment. Okay, and so here we will see, as per the syllabus, there are various types of assessment and evaluation. First is the norm and criterion reference based. What are the norm reference test and what are the criterion reference assessment and evaluation? Then we have to see the uh, from the process based category of assessment and evaluation, that is the placement, diagnostic, formative and summative. So I think we can start with the latter one, that is the placement, diagnostic, formative and summative. Here when we talk about the formative and summative. See here, whatever which is prescribed in our syllabus, it is based upon which criteria we are making the types of assessment and evaluation. When we see the purpose, what is the purpose of conducting assessment and evaluation? Then on the purpose basis, there are four types. The first we will be seeing, that is the formative and summative. What is the formative test and what is the summative test? See, uh, whether you are conducting assessment or evaluation, okay, if you are conducting throughout the learning session, it may be throughout the semester, it may be throughout the year, or it may be throughout completing one chapter. The point of saying that when you are conducting assessment and evaluation, when it is throughout one particular session, why? To understand that what kind of a difficulty the student are facing, so that they can be given a prompt support, they can be given a support on time for their better improvement, for even organizing better learning environment. Then this type of assessment we used to say as a formative assessment. Here the purpose is to support the student, and in order to support the student, we are conducting the assessment at a regular interval. And it doesn't mean that when I am saying a conducting assessment, then we have to give a paper pencil test or some kind of a testing thing. No, assessment can be done by observing the student while you are teaching, by listening the student when they are talking, when by observing the student when they are solving a problem, okay, or when they are working in a group. The point of saying is that here we are doing a assessment which is inbuilt of the teaching learning process, and the purpose is to support them for providing a better learning environment. So this type of assessment that we will be doing, we can term it as a formative assessment, because it is a frequent, it is actually the inbuilt mechanism of the teaching learning process. This is the formative one. But whenever we talk about the summative assessment, the summative assessment usually we used to conduct at the end of one unit, or at the end of one semester, or at the end of year if it is an annual system of education is there. So when it will be conducted at the end, then it is known as a summative assessment. And the main purpose of the summative assessment is that to understand that what kind of a strength they had during the learning session, what kind of achievement they had during the learning session, so that when you will be planning for the next semester, next year, next chapter even, So you can plan accordingly. On the another side, when we talk about the evaluation, formative evaluation in the same manner, it is conducted throughout the year, throughout the semester, throughout the chapter. And here it is, the purpose is actually different only. The purpose is not to provide the support. However, when we will be conducting a evaluation will have an inbuilt mechanism of assessment. So we will be getting the feedback also that can be used for the designing teaching learning environment. But when the process is conducted with a motive of grading the student, assigning some mark to the student, then it is known as a formative evaluation. But the question is that why the formative evaluation is required? We can do a summative evaluation, which is end year, which is end semester, that can be also done. So what is the purpose of conducting formative evaluation? Even though if it is a purpose that we have to understand the student, we are doing as an assessment by observing, by talking, by giving some question or through a various means. Here the main purpose of formative evaluation is to reduce the burden of examination. Because suppose that a paper is of 100 mark and one end semester or end year examination will be conducted at the end for the 100 mark. And for a various reason, if the student is not able to perform very well in that session, then the student will be labeled as low performing student. However, it may not be true. It may not be true. The reason may be various, that the student is not able to perform. It may be the student is not feeling well during that examination. It may be the student was unable to respond the particular question that was asked in the examination, or there may be several things. Similarly, some student may be able to perform very good, which may not be very authentic performance of the student. So it is required to divide the whole mark of the paper or a subject into some small constituting part, and we can conduct a evaluation at a regular interval so that the student will get a multiple opportunity to exhibit their performance. And similarly, at the end of semester and at the end of year, student will be required to attempt for a less mark examination, and hence it will reduce the fear from the examination. It will reduce the risk of examination phobia, and it will enable the student to perform well in the examination. And that's why there is a significance of formative assessment as well as the summative assessment. Formative evaluation as well as the summative evaluation. Both are equally required and equally important. We cannot say that something is inferior to other. No, both are have a equal importance, and there must be the equal weightage of a formative and a summative. Sorry, not equal. There should be a balanced weightage of the formative and summative. Okay, so this is the actually the idea of a formative and summative evaluation and assessment. So we can have a small question answer session here. Anybody who have any difficulty in this part may ask question now. I think there is something in the chat. Sasmita Sahu is saying evaluation is the way of value judgment, whereas assessment brings desirable change among the learner. Yes, desirable change in the sense that you will be able to identify, so that on time you can take the initiative, you can take the intervention, you can plan the intervention, so that it will help the learner. Yes. Any question from this section? No question. Yes, please. Hmm. See, it depends upon your purpose. The main point is when you are doing a evaluation. Okay, suppose that it is the not end year or end semester evaluation. It is formative evaluation. So during the formative evaluation, whatever the marks secured by the student, you can use those marks for the grading. But the kind of reflection that you will get from there, that you can use for the assessment, or better to say that you will get feedback from there and you can improve the process. So if it is a formative evaluation, yes, you can use that for the assessment as well. But if it is a end year evaluation, suppose that now you are in the fourth semester and the end semester examination that you have appeared. Okay, so the reflection from there, that cannot be used for the third semester. So in that sense, it cannot be used for the assessment purpose if it is a end year or end semester evaluation. But if it is a not a end year or end semester exam evaluation, then the reflection of that you can use for the evaluation as well. There is a no harm, and actually we are doing also. Okay, Sriman Manish, yes. Huh. No, it is a summative evaluation only, not its a assessment. Because the feedback we are not taking into the account. And in fact, there is a no chance of taking feedback, because at that time you will be your classes of the third semester will be over. So we cannot take the feedback. However, there is a limited scope also, some scope like that based upon your performance in the previous semester. I can get some feedback and I can redesign the classes of the fourth semester. But the feasibility of that, all those things are very less. So it cannot be treated as a assessment. It will be the evaluation only. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. Anything else from anybody? Prakash, are you? Do you have any question? Okay. So I think now we can proceed to the next concept. The next one is, that is the placement evaluation and assessment. Placement. Okay. So see, here we are categorizing the assessment and evaluation with a purpose, on the basis of a purpose. Why we are doing assessment and evaluation? There is another situation when you are required to conduct an assessment and evaluation for appropriate placement of the student. Placement can be defined in the various way that I will be discussing just after some time. But when your motive is to place the student, one minute. When your motive is to place the student as per the mark, as per the grade secured by them in the assessment and evaluation, then this type of assessment and evaluation is known as a placement evaluation and assessment. Placement in terms of, suppose that you want to make a group of a student based upon their achievement score. Suppose that you want to make a group that high performing student, another group of moderate or average performing students, another one is the low performing student, and you have made a three group and you want to assign a specific work to that group. Suppose that it may be like that those who are in the high performing student, you will give the question related of the high difficulty level, or you want to assign question of a low difficulty level to some group of a student. Then you must identify a group of a student. So for that you can conduct a evaluation, and based upon the grading you can uh, place the students. Second situation may be like that you want to provide a remedial intervention. Some students are facing, suppose that I am taking example of mathematics, some students are facing difficulty in learning algebra. Some students are facing difficulty in learning trigonometry. You want to identify them, that who are the students who are facing difficulty in learning trigonometry and algebra, so that you can provide a remedial support to them. So in order to identify the group of a student who are facing difficulty, you will be conducting a test. And those who are a very poor performer, those who are a low performing in that evaluation process, you can group them as that they are facing difficulty in learning trigonometry or algebra, so that the remedial session can be organized for them. So what here I am doing, here I am conducting a evaluation, I am making a group on the basis of the marks secured in that evaluation, and then I am providing a remedial support. So here the purpose is to place the student in a particular group, to identify the student that in which group they will be more suitable, in which group they are suitable, so that they can be placed there and they can be provided a remedial support. So this may be the another example. Another and the different type of example may be one more type of example, like that you want to place the student, a group of a student, in a different stream. Suppose that you want to make a group who are well suited for the engineering courses. You want to make a group of a student who are well suited for the architectural courses, architect. You want to make a group who are well suited for the linguistic courses. So you have to identify that whether the architectural ability and aptitude they have or they don't have. You have to identify that in order to become an engineer, they have a attitude, they have a required competency or not. Or for even the linguistic, for the literary activity, you must identify the learner whether they have a competency, knowledge, skill, understanding related to that work or not. So you can conduct a test, and based upon the outcome of the test, you can place the student in the concerned field. So if we are conducting a test with a motive to place the student, then it will be a placement evaluation and assessment. Another type of example may be like that when you will try to take admission in any course, like that when you have applied for the MEd course in this department UDT, you have come across with a entrance test. Means unless or until you will qualify that entrance test, you are not supposed to be admitted in that course. That is the requirement. So the kind of assessment and evaluation that is conducted for giving admission in the particular courses, that is also a kind of a placement evaluation, or even a kind of evaluation that we used to conduct for providing a job employment opportunity, that is also known as the placement evaluation. So in the nutshell we can say that the all type of evaluation and assessment that are concerned about making a group and placing them in a group which is appropriate to their ability, competency, aptitude is known as the placement evaluation. The purpose is to give them a space to place in some appropriate group. Okay, that is the placement evaluation. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask now related to the placement evaluation. Anybody? Yes, Tanuj. Acha. Okay, I got your point. I will explain. But I will take one more or two questions so that I can explain at a time. Anything else so that I can explain at a time? Yes, please, Bismajita. Hmm. Hmm. Diagnostic में. Okay. Hmm. 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 Okay. I got your point. I think Tanuj and you both have a similar kind of a problem in understanding the concept. Okay, so I will start with the Tanuj question, or anybody else also have some kind of a doubt. Okay, if you have a doubt, you can write in the chat box, and in between, I will be explaining these two doubts. हाँ, yes, हाँ, बोलिए. टेट एग्जामिनेशन. Okay, ठीक है. टेट एग्जामिनेशन can be treated as a placement examination, placement evaluation also, because on the basis of a score you are being categorized, which category who are eligible to be recruited as a teacher. So you are being placed in a group. Which group who are eligible for being a teacher. Okay, that is also a placement evaluation. Uh, First I will start with this Tanuj question, that Tanuj was asking that the kind of examination that they have faced before entering to the MEd course, whether that is the placement evaluation or not. Yes, it is a placement evaluation, because on the basis of your marks secured in the evaluation process, you have been categorized in a group who are eligible to take admission in the MEd course. So obviously that examination falls under the category of placement examination. There is no doubt. The second question, which is raised by the Biswajita, is that she was asking that when we conduct a evaluation, and on the basis of marks secured in the evaluation, we categorize the student, and we are giving them some remedial intervention. So that should be the diagnostic evaluation. See, here I will like to clarify that it is based on the purpose. What is your purpose? Like that, when I was talking about the evaluation and assessment, it depends upon that why you are doing the process. If your process is to identify the difficulty and support them, so that on time you can understand the learner and you can provide them a support, then it will be termed as a assessment. But when you are using for grading, then it will be termed as a evaluation. So there will be, as the rightly pointed out by the Manish Gautam, that there will be some point of overlapping. Like that, when you are conducting assessment, the same grade can be used for the evaluation also. Or when you are conducting a evaluation, the same feedback that you have got, that can be used for providing the support also. So it will be a part of a assessment. So there will be a point of overlapping. If the evaluation is at the end of the semester or a year, then whatever the reflection you are getting, that cannot be used. So at that point, evaluation will be there, but there will be no assessment. But at the beginning, if there is a evaluation is there, that can be treated as an assessment also, the feedback that you are getting. The similar kind of a problem comes here also. There is a point of overlapping. See, you have conducted an evaluation and you want to make a group, that who are the higher performer, who are the low performer, who are the poor performer. So if you are placing a student in a group appropriate to their performance, then it is a placement evaluation. But when you have placed a group of a student as a poor performer, slow performer, then obviously the group requires some sort of intervention, and that's why you are providing an intervention. Or if you have a motive to provide an intervention, then you are making a group that who are the students who are requiring the additional support. Okay, it is a process of placing a student in an appropriate group, because without placing the student in an appropriate group, it may be dependent upon their ability, interest, even their cognitive ability, psychomotor ability, affective ability, let it be. But ultimately, we are categorizing a group, categorizing the student in a group. So if our motive is to categorize a student in a group, then it's a placement, because I am a placing a student as appropriate to their ability, interest. So it is a placement evaluation. And the next thing that I was talking, that we will provide a remedial support. The remedial support is the different thing. Just in to make a continuity, I have told, because whatever the categorization I will be making, that requires a further action. Suppose that I am categorizing some student for some sort of a job, as I have told that I have conducted one test, and I found that this group of students are suitable for architectural course. So sorting a student in a group doesn't mean much, because once you have sorted, they require admission to the courses as per the seat availability. They are getting also. So that is the extended part of this purpose. If I am conducting a test for the employment purpose, so those who are qualifying the required cutoff mark, they must be provided a job, because that is the ultimate aim for doing this type of a placement evaluation. So when we are categorizing based upon their ability, so obviously those who are with a low ability, those who are lacking of the competency, they must be provided a support. So that is. On the other hand, side by side, I will also discuss the diagnostic test, and then I will come to you that whether my point is clear to you or not. Let me first discuss the diagnostic also. On the other hand, when we talk about the diagnostic test, okay, diagnostic test is not conducted with a purpose of a grouping and a placing a student. It is conducted to identify the difficulty only. The point of saying is that when I will conduct a diagnostic test, I will not make a group, that is the high performer, average performer, or a slow performer, or a poor performer. I will only decide some criteria before conducting the diagnostic test, that I want to see this level of a competency, whether they have this level of a competency or not. And I will conduct the process, and I will choose the student based upon the evaluation process, and those who will be below the required competency, they will be provided a assistance, support, or a remediation. Here the purpose is not to categorize, and in fact I am not categorizing, I am not concerning about the other student. Suppose that for some field or in some area, I have set out that a student must have a 30% of a competency. So those who have secured above 30 mark I am not concerning about them because they are above the required percentage of mark. I am only concerned with the student who are below 30, and that was the purpose, and that's why again I will provide the remediation. So it depends upon the purpose why you are conducting, isn't it? So that was the diagnostic tests are or the evaluation are conducted with a purpose to identify something, to identify difficulty, to identify level of competency whether they have or not. Okay, so that is the motive of a diagnostic test. So okay, so once again I will come to Biswajita. Is it clear to you, Biswajita? So it depends upon the purpose why you are conducting. Okay. So it's already 12:20. So I think we can stop it here. You will also get some time to join the next class. Uh, and in the next class, we will see about the norm and criterion reference assessment and evaluation. Okay. So shall we stop this session here? Okay. Thank you for being with me. Have a nice day.